Hello everybody, this is Hollywood Joe with Hollywood's World of Sports, coming to you today with 10 questions with Hollywood, where you ask questions and I give you my brutally honest answer. I have 10 very great questions today from my fellow Facebook followers and friends, and here we go with 10 questions with Hollywood. The first question comes from Paula Lynn. She would like to know, who do you think is the true MVP of the Detroit Tigers organization this year, and why? Well, Paula, I have to kind of split that answer up into two parts. So I believe there's an MVP of pitching and MVP of batting. In a normal year, I would have to go with Miguel Cabrera on the batting side and Justin Verlander on the pitching side. But this year seems a little bit different. I believe that Yoenis Cespedes will be the MVP on the offensive side, and Justin Verlander. See, I'm already talking about Justin Verlander. I do think David Price will be the MVP of the starting pitching side. Both have been great additions to the Detroit Tiger organization, and I see many great things from both of them from years to come. My next question is from Shane Ross. He would like to know, how will the New York Jets fare in 2015 after their off-season moves and their NFL draft picks? Judging from what I've read and hearing all the analysts, the New York Jets had a really, really great draft. Picked up a lot of great pieces, and even during the off-season they have signed a lot of great free agents, bringing people from the past back to their team to kind of reestablish the foundation of what worked for them in the past. So I do expect the Jets to have a great season, but you got to understand that's a tough division they're in, with the former Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, the Buffalo Bills, who have also made some great moves, and even the Miami Dolphins, who are making some noise down south as well. But I do expect the New York Jets to be in the thick of things in the 2015 NFL season. My next question comes from Greg Paul. He would like to know, how long before Major League Baseball incorporates the designated hitter rule in the National League? This has been a hot topic over the last few weeks, ever since Max Scherzer was injured in a batting situation. My thoughts on it is, if it gets incorporated, it's probably going to take a couple years, because Max is really the only one that has spoken up against pitchers batting in the National League. My opinion is that if you're getting paid the amount of money Max Scherzer is, you better learn how to bat. The designated hitter rule in the American League has separated itself from the National League for a long time. So I think it would be foolish to make the designated hitter rule a part of the National League. It's what separates the National League and makes it more fun to watch as a baseball fan. My next question comes from Jordan Montez. He would like to know, how long before the Chicago Bulls win an NBA championship again? Well, Jordan, the Bulls have been in the thick of things for the last 3 to 4 years and are even currently in the thick of things right now. However, their chances of winning an NBA championship are going to depend on how healthy Derrick Rose can stay. He has been very injury prone and injury plagued for the last 3 to 4 seasons, and his health will be a determining factor. They also have a lot of coaching issues right now. There's major talks of them getting rid of their current coach, Tom Thibodeau, and I think if that happens, it's going to shake a lot of things up. But if Derrick Rose can stay healthy and the coaching staff can stick together, I would give it within the next 2 to 3 years for the Bulls to win an NBA championship again. My next question comes from Holly Erickson. She wants to know, to what extent should athletes be regarded as role models, and how much of an obligation do they have to be as a role model? You know, that's a pretty deep question. Charles Barkley said it a long, long time ago in his NBA playing career that he is not a role model and he doesn't want to be a role model. Floyd Mayweather recently also stated that kids should not look up to him or other athletes. They should be looking up to their parents. You know, as an athlete, you're given a privilege to play sports. You're given a privilege to make a lot of money and provide for your family. You're always in the public eye. You're always in the news. Every move is being watched. So when it comes right down to it, to a certain extent, you know, the children of this country, you know, the young adults of this country look up to you athletes. And I believe that, you know, you need to set a good example. Go out and do stuff for your community. Donate to charitable causes. Teach these kids the difference from right and wrong. Because at the end of the day, yes, they may have parents, but they are all inspired by what they see on TV. So to that extent, you know, athletes should bring out more awareness, you know, in teaching kids, hey, this is how, you know, you do the right thing. This is what happens when hard work pays off. So to that extent, they should be looked at role models in that regard. My next question comes from Charlie Smith. He wants to know who my favorite athlete was growing up and who my favorite athlete is now. Growing up, I have two athletes that really stick out in my mind. Glenn Rice was one of them. I was always impressed with Glenn Rice's shooting ability, and he also won me a lot of money in quite a few three-point shooting contests during those infamous All-Star Weekend festivities. Kevin Green, what a great linebacker in the NFL. He is third all-time of sacks in the NFL. He played for the Rams, Steelers, Panthers, and the 49ers. I became a Kevin Green fan when he appeared on WCW Clash of the Champions with Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage accompanying him to the ring one time. I instantly became a fan of his because of his intensity and his passion, not just for pro wrestling, but the sport of professional football as well. My next question comes from Kelly Boudry. She wants to know, do you see NXT superstars eclipsing the WWE main roster superstars anytime soon? Well, Kelly, you know, I'm a huge fan of NXT. I'm a huge fan of what they're doing down there. I truly believe that they are going to be just as big as Raw and SmackDown within the next 5 years. NXT is already selling out all their events across the country. They had a great turnout for WrestleMania weekend, and now Triple H is taking them on tour, you know, in major cities. They may not be in big venues yet like Raw and SmackDown are, but give it a couple years and I can see NXT being the third major brand of the WWE. My next question is from Mike Johnson. He wants to know, what do you think the WWE should do about the Intercontinental Championship now that Daniel Bryan's health is in question again? Well, Mike, the Intercontinental title has been at the forefront of WWE since the 1970s. It is the workhorse title, is the technical wrestler title. It is the title for the wrestlers that have the best abilities. And Mike, I truly believe if Daniel Bryan cannot compete, they should have an 8-man tournament. 4 of the participants being former Intercontinental champions, and the other 4 participants being 4 superstars from NXT. And the reason I say that is the Intercontinental Championship is a launching pad to a successful career. I believe an NXT superstar would benefit from holding the Intercontinental Championship and could probably take it to heights that has never been to before. My next question is from Shane Johnson. He wants to know, what happened to the old school heels, the ones that used to eye gouge and scratch and low blow and do all these dirty things? You know, Shane, we're in the age where WWE is kid friendly, PG era, and you don't see a lot of dirty tactics anymore. You know, the main dirty tactics you see is, you know, using the ropes for leverage, or pulling the tights, or getting yourself disqualified. I really do believe that it is because of the PG era, you don't see much of the low blows, or the eye gouges, or the, you know, back rakes, or any dirty tricks like that. Do I wish those aspects were still around? Yes, I do, Shane. But for the time being, you probably won't see those dirty tactics anymore. My last question comes from Kathy Jo Coster. She wants to know what makes a great WWE diva. Well, Kathy, you know, in the past, WWE has hired a lot of, you know, fitness models and cheerleader types and, you know, things that really, you know, you didn't have to be athletic at. But, you know, in NXT, a lot of these divas are being trained to be great professional wrestlers. You know, a few examples I can give you. Charlotte, who is the daughter of the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and Sasha Banks. They're both technically sound in the ring. They're very innovative and athletic, and you know, they're going to be the future standard for WWE Divas for the next 20 to 25 years. And I believe being athletic, you know, having a good mind for wrestling, and knowing what the crowd wants out of the divas is what makes a good WWE diva. Well, that is all for my 10 questions with me, Hollywood Joe, from Hollywood's World of Sports. I would like to thank my sponsors, KDS Sporting Goods, RodJerseys.com, Bonafide Tough Guy, and the Picture People Company. You can also find me at HollywoodsWorldOfSports.com with all the latest buzz and controversial topics in the sports world. And if that hasn't satisfied you enough and you'd like to comment on those topics, check my Facebook out at facebook.com/HollywoodsWorldOfSports. I thank you for tuning in today to 10 Questions with Hollywood, and we'll see you next time. God bless.